ChatGPT said. Alex sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the empty space on his nightstand where Mia's framed photo used to stand. The lamp still glowed softly, casting long shadows across the room. He remembered the day she moved to another city, how her smile had been bright even as she packed her bags. Now, every quiet moment brought back memories of laughter and late-night talks. The walls felt too tall, the air too still. He missed her voice, the way she spoke about strange stars and far-off places. His heart ached with distance he could not cross. Each morning, Alex woke to the same routine. He brushed his teeth, made toast, and poured coffee. But the taste felt flat without Mia's cheerful good morning ringing in his ears. At work, he found his mind drifting to the old skate park where they once met. Even with friends around, he felt alone. At lunch, he scrolled through his phone, seeing her posts from another time zone. He watched her walk along unfamiliar streets, smiling at new friends. Alex wanted to reach out, to bridge the gap, but the words seemed to vanish before he typed them. That evening, he sat at his desk and opened his email. He hovered over her address, fingers trembling. What could he say? I miss you. I wish you were here. It all felt too small. He closed the laptop, rubbing his tired eyes. The quiet buzz of the city outside reminded him of how small he felt in the vast world. A storm of doubt rose inside him. Maybe she was too busy, too happy in her new life. Maybe he had already lost her to time and space. But when Alex looked at his reflection in the dark window, he saw determination in his own eyes. He took a deep breath and reached for paper and pen, began to write a letter, simple words from the heart. He told her how much he valued their friendship, how her courage in chasing dreams had inspired him. He shared small details of his days, the way the old oak tree in his yard had finally bloomed, the new song his brother had taught him, the sky painted purple at sunset. He wrote honestly, letting hope flow through the ink. The next morning, Alex showed the letter to his friend Zara. She smiled and offered to help. Zara knew a faster way to send his words across the miles. Together they recorded a short video message. Alex spoke softly, his eyes bright with feeling. He didn't need grand speeches, just truth. Zara helped him add photos of their favorite spots, the skate park ramp where they laughed, the little coffee shop window where they planned adventures.
Alex.
He was sending a piece of himself. To Mia, he uploaded the video and hit send. The progress bar moved slowly, each percent a promise. He thought about Mia watching it on her phone, perhaps late at night when the stars looked the same as they did here. He imagined her smiling, or even laughing, at his awkward jokes. Hope fluttered in his chest. Maybe she would reply. Maybe she would share her new world with him, and they could find ways to stay close despite the miles. Days passed. Alex went about his life with a new sense of purpose. When his phone buzzed, his heart leaped. A message from Mia appeared. I got your video. It made me so happy. He read her words again, savoring each sentence. She sent her own clips of the busy market near her apartment, the sunset view from her balcony, the new friends who now called her by name. She missed him too, she said, and hoped he would visit soon. Alex leaned back, smiling at the screen. The distance was still there, but it felt smaller now. Their friendship had found a new path, a bridge of letters, videos, and shared dreams. In that moment, he understood something important about being human. When we care deeply, we find ways to connect, to overcome space and time. His sadness had not vanished, but it had turned into something stronger, hope. And that, he knew, was the true sign of his HFY spirit. Jamie woke early, the sun's first light slipping through the curtains. After days of waiting, she finally held Mia's reply in her hands. The paper trembled with Mia's neat handwriting. I miss you too. Let's find a way to stay close. Jamie's heart swelled. She had felt lost after Mia moved, as if a part of her world had gone dark. Dark now. That light had returned, sparking, an idea that filled her with hope. Over coffee, Jamie wrote down a plan. She would send Mia a care package full of small treasures, a bookmark painted with their favorite sunset, a mixtape of songs they loved, and a folded map tracing the roads Jamie traveled each day. Each item would be a bridge across the miles. She carefully wrapped the map in tissue, tied the package with a ribbon, and addressed it with her best handwriting. It felt good to act, to shape her hope into something real. At work, Jamie's thoughts wandered to Mia. She imagined Mia unwrapping the package in her new apartment, fingers brushing the ribbon, eyes lighting up at every memory. Jamie's chest tightened with longing, but she held on to her resolve. Asked her coworker Sam to help her ship the package with speed. Sam smiled, impressed by Jamie's thoughtfulness. By lunchtime, the package was on its way, labeled urgent, open with joy. That evening, Jamie sat at her desk and opened her laptop. She logged into a video chat app and saw Mia's friendly face. Mia waved from a sunlit room filled with plants. Jamie's eyes filled with tears of relief. They talked about small things at first. The new coffee shop Mia discovered, Jamie's neighbor's noisy cat, the song Mia had learned on her guitar. Each detail wove them closer together, dissolving the distance between them. Mia confessed that she sometimes felt lonely too. Her new friends were kind, but none knew her like Jamie did. Hearing this, Jamie felt a surge of care. She listened while Mia described her first weekend in the new city, her hopes and her fears. Jamie offered words of encouragement, reminding Mia how brave she was to chase her dreams. Mia smiled, her eyes bright. In that moment, both felt less alone. The next day, Jamie decided to send a live update. She recorded a short video. She stood by the old oak tree where she and Mia used to sit. She greeted Mia by name and showed the tree's new leaves. She read a passage from their favorite book and waved. Before clicking send, Jamie hesitated. Was this silly? Then she remembered her HFY spirit. Humans find creative ways to connect. She sent the video, heart pounding with hope. A few hours later, Mia replied with her own video, as she filmed. From her balcony overlooking a busy street, she held up the care package, smiling wide. She opened it piece by piece, marveling at each treasure. When Mia reached the map, she gently unfolded it on her kitchen table. Jamie watched Mia's face. On her screen, bright with surprise and joy, the effort Jamie had made mattered deeply. Tears of happiness formed in Jamie's eyes. Encouraged, Jamie and Mia set a new routine. Every Sunday they would have a shared hour, video chatting while drinking the same flavored tea. Picked flavors together and found a way to buy the same brand. Each week, they would choose a theme: memories, books, music, or dreams. This simple ritual became their lifeline, something to look forward to. Distance remained, but their bond grew stronger than ever. Jamie realized that reconnecting was not about erasing distance, but about building bridges of care and creativity. She felt proud of her HFY spirit, the human drive to overcome challenges with empathy and invention. Hope had guided her every action, from writing letters to planning rituals. More than ever, Jamie believed that no matter how far apart people might be, the human heart can always find a way to reach out and hold on. Ella opened the shared drawing app and saw Mia's half-finished sketch. Two figures standing on a small hill under a blanket of stars. Ella's breath caught. Seeing Mia's gentle strokes made the distance between them feel smaller, yet her own hands trembled. She worried her drawing would ruin the picture. Would Mia laugh at her simple lines? Doubt filled Ella's mind. But then she remembered how humans faced every challenge, however small, with courage and creativity. She took a deep breath and touched the stylus to the screen. First, she sketched the hill's gentle curve, then added a winding path lined with tiny flowers they both loved. With each stroke, she felt the lump in her throat ease. She could do this.
Ow!
She could build a bridge to Mia's heart. As Ella drew, messages popped up. Mia's laughing emoji, then a text. Your path looks like home. Ella smiled so wide her cheeks ached. They spent hours like that, Ella drawing a wood-fired oven with smoke curling up, Mia replying with a colorful tree full of lanterns. They talked about favorite memories, how clay from the creek once stained their clothes, how they danced barefoot under the moonlight, how they promised each other to chase big dreams. Every line they added was a reminder of their bond. Ella painted a small spaceship hovering above the hill, and Mia added a trail of stardust behind it. Their picture became a tapestry of shared moments and hopes for the future. At one point, Mia wrote, "We finish this together, no matter the miles." Ella's chest warmed. That simple promise felt stronger than any letter she could write. They paused to admire their work. The final image showed two friends on a green hill looking up as a spaceship flew between worlds, leaving glowing stardust in its wake. Stars above formed a heart shape, tying their drawing together. Ella realized this image was more than art. It was a symbol of their friendship and of human hope. Even though life had pulled them apart, they could still create something beautiful. Side by side, Ella saved the picture and set it as her phone wallpaper. Every time she unlocked her screen, she saw their joined hands reaching for the stars. She felt proud of her small contribution to the larger image. Her simple lines and Mia's bold colors combined perfectly, just like their strengths and flaws made their friendship whole. The next morning, Ella woke with new energy, reached for her sketchbook and wrote a note, "Let's make art every week. No matter what, we finish together." She took a photo of it and sent it to Mia. Within minutes, Mia replied with a thumbs up and a heart. They agreed on Sunday nights for art under the stars. Ella wrote it in her calendar and decorated the date with little drawings of planets. At work, Ella found herself humming softly. Her tasks felt lighter now that she had this plan. During lunch, she looked out over the city park and imagined Mia sketching the same trees in her own view. She pictured their two drawings side by side, each telling the same story through different eyes. The thought filled her with hope. That evening, Ella prepared her tablet and set up tea beside her. When Sunday night arrived, she logged in and saw Mia waiting with her headset on. They greeted each other with big waves. For the next hour, they drew and talked, sharing ideas and laughter. Mia showed Ella a secret technique to add shimmer to the stars. Ella taught Mia how to sketch the oven's curved roof. They cheered each other's progress. The distance between them existed only in miles, not in friendship. By the end of their session, they had a new drawing. Two friends standing in a glowing garden. Lanterns hanging from tree branches, the spaceship passing overhead. They saved both drawings in a shared folder labeled Hope. Ella felt a surge of pride. They had built something together, piece by piece. Proof that human creativity and determination could overcome any distance. As they said goodnight, Ella whispered into her headset, "Thank you for drawing with me." Mia replied, "Always." The line went quiet, but Ella did not feel alone. Her heart was full of hope and warmth. She leaned back and gazed at the stars outside her window, imagining the same sky over Mia's home. She knew their friendship was strong enough to cross oceans and time zones. Ella closed her eyes and smiled. The world felt wide, but her spirit felt larger. Humans could connect across any void if they tried. She felt proud of her HFY spirit, compassion, courage, and creativity shining bright. And as she drifted to sleep, she dreamed of all the art they would make together, one Sunday night at a time. Noah woke before dawn, his heart heavy with longing. The room felt colder now that Lena had moved to another country. He pressed his palms against his eyes, trying to chase away the ache inside. Every morning he reached for his phone, hoping for a message from her, but the screen stayed empty. He felt lost in the quiet. He missed her laugh, the sound of her voice calling his name. His chest tightened with the weight of distance he could not cross. At work, Noah's mind drifted to memories of Lena's visits. He remembered how she told stories about faraway places and asked him endless questions. He missed her curiosity and warmth. In meetings, he sat still while the world moved around him. He smiled at his colleagues' jokes, but his heart was elsewhere. Even his favorite coffee tasted dull. He longed to reconnect, but did not know how to begin. The miles between them felt too vast. That afternoon, Noah walked through the park they used to explore together. He traced his fingers along the rough bark of an old oak tree where they once carved their initials. A single leaf drifted down and landed at his feet. He picked it up and held it, remembering Lena's gentle smile. "I wish I knew how to reach you," he whispered. In that moment, a flicker of hope sparked in him. Maybe there was a way to bridge the gap. He went home and pulled out his notebook. He wrote Lena's name at the top of a fresh page and stared at the blank lines below. His thoughts tumbled out. How much he missed her. How empty his days felt without her. He jotted down small details of his life. The new bench at the park, the old bookstore he discovered, the new song he learned on guitar. Each sentence felt like a small step toward her, a beam of light through the darkness. But as the words appeared, on the page, doubt crept in. What if this letter never reaches her? He wondered. What if she is too busy? He hesitated, finger hovering over the pen. The notebook stared back at him, full of possibility, but also fear. He closed it with a soft sigh. His hope felt fragile. He wanted to do something more than just write. Wanted to show Lena how much he valued their bond. That night, Noah called his sister Ava and shared his worries. Afa listened patiently. She knew how much Lena meant to him. Then she suggested something new. Why not start a shared digital journal? She said, "You can write, and Lena can read and reply whenever she has time. It will be like talking face to face." Noah thought about it. The idea felt right. It was simple, but it could bring them closer in real time, across any distance. Early the next morning, Noah set up the journal online. He chose a calm background image of a sunrise and wrote an invitation. "Dear Lena, I miss you. I'd love to share this journal with you." He hit send and felt his heart race. He spent the day adding entries, a photo of his sketch of the oak tree, a short poem about morning light, a voice note of him singing a few lines of their favorite song. Each entry carried his hope and care. Days passed. Noah checked the journal every hour. Then one morning, he saw a new entry from Lena. His breath caught as he read her words. "Thank you, Noah. I love the journal. It feels like you are here with me." She had added her own photos, the view from her balcony, a painting of a market scene, and a short video of her laughing with a new friend. Noah's heart soared. He pressed play on the video, and her laughter filled his room. Encouraged, Noah wrote back with fresh stories. He posted a photo of the sunset, captioning it, "This one is for you." Lena replied with a drawing of the sky she saw. They began sharing daily moments, little things they could not send by letter. Their digital journal became a living bridge between their worlds. Noah realized that distance could not weaken their friendship. It only made their connection more intentional and creative. That evening, Noah sat by his window, watching stars emerge in the dark sky. He opened the journal and read Lena's last entry. "Noah, thank you for never giving up on us." He felt his chest swell with pride and hope. In that moment, he understood the best of being human. We find ways to reach out, to care, and to rebuild bonds, no matter how far apart we are. Noah closed the journal, his heart light. Hope glowed inside him, stronger than ever. ChatGPT said, Ethan sat on the low wall by the riverbank, watching water ripple in the morning light. He thought of Isabel, who had moved across the country last month. The gray sky matched his mood. Every place they once went together felt empty without her laughter. He missed her easy smile and gentle voice. He felt far from her, even though they still texted now and then. Their messages were short and polite, but they lacked the warmth they once shared. Ethan sighed and closed his eyes. He wished he knew how to bring their friendship back to life. At work, Ethan found little joy in his tasks. He copied numbers into spreadsheets and answered routine emails, but his mind drifted to memories of Isabel. He remembered their weekend hikes, curious. Talks about new books and how she always made him feel braver. Now he felt hollow. His coworkers chatted about their plans for the weekend, but Ethan could not focus. He forced a smile and returned to his desk. He opened his phone and stared at Isabel's name, but he still hesitated to reach out. Could he say that would mean more than "Hi, how are you"? That evening, Ethan took his old sketchbook from the shelf. He and Isabel had sketched together in parks. He flipped through pages of half-drawn trees, simple sketches of clouds, and quick portraits of each other. He traced his finger over a drawing of them sitting under an old oak tree. His chest tightened, but he also felt a small spark of hope. He had always found comfort in art. Maybe he could use it now to bridge the gap between them. The next morning, Ethan bought a set of colored pencils and a new sketchbook. He decided to make something for Isabel, He thought of the oak tree where they used to meet and began to draw it. He filled the page with bright leaves, twisting branches, and a gentle breeze that seemed to lift each leaf. Or drew too small. Figures on a bench beneath the tree. He added a paper plane flying toward distant hills. With each stroke, he poured his hope into the paper. He imagined Isabel's smile when she saw his gift. Once he finished the drawing, Ethan scanned it and attached it to an email. He wrote a short note. I miss our art days and our talks. I hope this brings you a piece of our world. He paused before sending. His finger hovered over the mouse, heart pounding. Then he clicked send. He felt like he had sent a part of himself across the miles. He waited, breathing deeply, willing the email to reach Isabel and touch her heart as his hope fluttered. Inside him, that night, Ethan could not sleep. Kept checking his phone for a reply. Doubt crept in. What if Isabel thought the drawing was silly? What if she did not want to remember those days? The darkness pressed around him, but he reminded himself that humans meet challenges with courage and creativity. He had taken a risk, and that was part of what made people strong. He closed his eyes and let calm wash over him. The next morning, a message from Isabel appeared in his inbox. She wrote, Your drawing is beautiful. It made me think of our afternoons in the park. I was so happy to see it. Ethan's heart leaped. She had felt his care across the screen. She attached a photo of her new balcony garden with bright flowers and a small easel. She said she would try to sketch there and share her work too. Ethan read her words again, feeling warmth spread through him. The distance felt less heavy. Over the next week, they exchanged drawings and sketches. Ethan shared a simple watercolor of the coffee shop where they met. Isabel sent a sketch of her new street lined with maples. They wrote little notes about their days, the scent of blooming flowers, a new song on the radio, a funny moment with a neighbor. Each message brought them closer, weaving fresh threads into their friendship. The miles between them became just lines on a map rather than walls in their hearts. One evening, Ethan set up his laptop for a video chat. He sat under a lamp beside his drawing table, his latest sketchbook open. Isabel appeared on the screen, smiling brightly in her sunny room. They greeted each other like the best of friends. For an hour they talked and drew side by side, sharing tips on shading and color. Laughter filled both rooms. Ethan realized that HFY, the human spirit of creativity and connection, had guided him. He had turned his sadness into action, and hope had led the way. When they said goodnight, Ethan felt lighter than he had in weeks. He closed his sketchbook and looked out the window at the night sky. Stars sparkled as if cheering him on.
Ow.
He knew their bond would carry on no matter the distance. Humans have a way of finding new paths to each other when they really care. Ethan smiled and whispered into the darkness, Thank you, Isabel, for drifting into a peaceful sleep full of hopeful dreams. Mia woke to the sound of rain tapping on her window. She rolled over and stared at her phone, wishing for a message from Jonah. He had moved to another country 6 months ago, and their daily chats had slowed to weekly hellos. Mia felt the silence like a wall between them. She missed his jokes, his kind words, and the way he always knew when she needed encouragement. Now, every quiet morning made her heart ache with distance. She wanted to reach out, but she did not know what to say that would bridge the gap. At work, Mia stared at lines of code on her computer screen. She tried to focus on her project, but her mind drifted to memories of Jonah teaching her to skateboard and the late-night talks they shared under starry skies. Her colleagues asked questions, but she offered only quiet nods. She felt small and tired. At lunch, she scrolled through old photos of them posing at parks and beaches. Seeing his face made her chest tighten with longing. She opened the messaging app, typed hi, then erased it. What if he's too busy, she thought. That evening, Mia walked through the park they used to visit. The paths were empty, and the trees dripped rainwater. She paused by the little bridge where they had carved their initials. A puddle reflected her face, pale and sad. She knelt and traced a finger through the muddy water. She whispered, I miss you, Jonah. The cold air made her shiver. Then, she remembered how humans are good at finding solutions when they care. Her heart lifted with a spark of hope. Maybe there was a new way to reconnect. Mia returned home and opened a blank document on her computer. She called it Our Story. She began typing a short scene. Two friends meeting again after many years, laughing as they shared stories of new places and old dreams. She wrote honestly about how much she missed Jonah and how proud she was of him for chasing his dreams abroad. She saved the document and paused. What if Jonah did not read it? She decided to make it into something more fun, an interactive story they could write together. The next day, Mia signed up for a collaborative writing site. She created a project, titled Our Story, and invited Jonah by email. In her first entry, she wrote a few paragraphs describing their friendship, then ended with a question: what happens next? She added a simple illustration of two stick figures waving across a map. She clicked share and waited, her heart pounding. That afternoon, she opened her computer every few minutes, hoping for a notification. 3 days passed without word. Mia felt her hope fade. She worried Jonah had too much work or had forgotten her. She closed her laptop and cried softly. Even as tears fell, she remembered her own strength. She took a deep breath and reminded herself that humans keep trying, even when things feel hard. She opened the writing site again and posted a new entry, a scene of a letter arriving by courier, carrying seeds from her garden for Jonah to plant. She wrote about how care could grow even in far-off places. That night, Mia received an email. Notification: Jonah had joined the project. Her heart leaped. She logged in and saw his scene. He described opening a box under a cherry tree on his balcony, finding the seeds and planting them in a small pot. He wrote about how he thought of her every time he watered them. Jonah ended with a question: how will our garden grow? Mia smiled so wide her cheeks ached. She typed her reply at once, adding a scene of a new character, a curious bird that landed to help water the pot. Over the next week, they took turns adding to our story. Each entry showed small moments of care and humor. Mia sent Jonah a playlist of songs, and Jonah wrote a scene of her dancing to them on a rainy morning. They shared favorite recipes in the story, turning them into magical feasts under starlit skies. With every update, Mia felt closer to Jonah. The project became their new ritual, a way to share their days and creativity. The distance was still there, but their friendship grew stronger with each word. One evening, Mia sat by her desk, reading the latest chapter. She saw a scene where their characters met on a floating bridge of light, a meeting place between two worlds. She felt tears of joy. She realized that the human spirit HFY shines brightest when we care enough to overcome obstacles. Mia clicked Notify Jonah and wrote, "Thank you for making this story with me. I feel like you're right here." She closed her laptop and leaned back, a warm glow in her chest. As she drifted to sleep, Mia thought of the seeds sprouting in Jonah's apartment and the pages filling with their shared story. She knew their bond would continue to grow, no matter how many miles lay between them. In the quiet night, she whispered, "Good night, Jonah," and felt hope bloom inside her, stronger than any distance. Lucas sat in his small studio apartment, the late afternoon sun slipping behind distant buildings. He held a plain postcard in his hand, the image of a quiet mountain lake on one side and blank lines on the other. His heart felt heavy. His sister, Zoe, had moved across the ocean last year to study art. They had been close as children, building forts in backyards and sharing secrets at bedtime. Now every quiet moment reminded him of her laughter and warmth. He missed her so much that even simple tasks felt hard. At work, Lucas sat at his desk in a busy office. He designed maps for hikers, but his focus drifted. He sketched the outline of Zoe's apartment window instead of mountain trails. His coworkers chatted about weekend trips, but he could not join their excitement. He forced a smile and answered polite questions, but inside he felt empty. He opened his email, hoping Zoe had written, but only found news from other friends. A wave of sadness washed over him. He wanted to reconnect, but he did not know how to reach her heart from so far away. That evening, Lucas wandered to a small park near his home. He traced his fingers along a wooden bench, its paint worn by weather and time. He and Zoe had sat there on summer evenings, planning adventures and drawing imaginary creatures on sketch pads. He knelt and brushed away a tiny pebble, feeling the grain of the wood beneath his fingertips. He whispered, "Zoe, I wish I could send you a piece of this." He closed his eyes and let hope fill his heart. He knew that humans have a way of creating bridges, even across oceans. Back in his apartment, Lucas opened his laptop and searched for a way to send something special. He discovered a global art exchange website that allowed users to send small art parcels anonymously. Like a creative pen pal, a spark of excitement lit in his chest. He could share a piece of his world with Zoe in a new way. He signed up and read the rules. Each parcel could include a small drawing, a note, and perhaps a local keepsake. It felt perfect. Over the next day, Lucas gathered supplies. He tore a page from his favorite sketchbook and drew a simple map of the city park. Winding paths, the old oak tree, the weathered bench. He added little hearts at the spots they loved. He wrote a short note below, "Dear Zoe, I miss our adventures here. I hope this map brings you a bit of home. Love, Lucas." Then he found an old keychain shaped like a tiny compass that Zoe used to carry, polished it carefully, and attached it to the parcel. He double-checked everything: the drawing, the note, the compass, and a small envelope stamped with the website's address. He dropped the parcel in the mail the next morning and felt a rush of hope. He imagined Zoe's surprise when she opened it, how her eyes might light up at the familiar bench on his map. His sadness eased a little, replaced by the thrill of sending a piece of himself across the miles. Days passed. Lucas went about his days with renewed energy. He sketched new maps and smiled at his coworkers' jokes. When his phone dinged, he paused. He saw an email from the art exchange site. "Your parcel has been received and forwarded." His heart leaped. He counted hours, each one pulsing with hope. Finally, an email arrived. "Your parcel was delivered." I opened it with trembling fingers. Inside was Zoe's handwriting on the return slip. "Lucas, I got your map and compass. I love it. It feels like I'm back on our bench watching the sunset. Thank you so much. I painted a small watercolor for you." Email included a link to a photo. Zoe's painting of the park with soft colors of dusk, two small figures. Sitting on the bench, Lucas stared at the image, tears of joy in his eyes. His hope had reached her heart. He painted a small watercolor of his own in response, a view of Zoe's apartment window with warm light shining through. He scanned it and uploaded it to the same art exchange site, following the same steps. He wrote a note. "Your painting brought me home. I hope this light brightens your room. Love, Lucas." He mailed the parcel with a smile that warmed his entire body. Over the next weeks, Lucas and Zoe exchanged small art parcels through the site. Each package carried sketches, watercolors, little keepsakes, and heartfelt notes. Zoe sent him dried flower petals from her newest garden, and he packed a pebble from the riverbank they once visited. Each item was simple, yet rich with meaning. Their parcels became a ritual, a way to share moments of their lives and keep their bond alive. One Sunday afternoon, Lucas received the final email. "Zoe has sent you multiple parcels. She'd like to video chat this weekend." Lucas's heart pounded with excitement. He wrote back immediately, "Yes, let's talk." When the weekend arrived, he set up his laptop by the window, next to a small vase holding Zoe's dried petals. He logged into the video call and saw Zoe's smiling face in a bright room full of paintings. His chest swelled with pride and happiness. They greeted each other with shy waves, then laughed and talked for hours. They showed each other their parcels in person, holding up sketches and watercolors to the camera. They retold memories and made plans to visit each other next year. Lucas realized how humans meet challenges: time, uncertainty with creativity, hope, and care. His heart felt full. The miles between them were still there, but they no longer felt like barriers. When they said goodbye, Lucas closed his laptop and leaned back in his chair. He looked at the sketch on his desk, the park map with hearts marking the bench. He touched the small compass on his keyring, a gift from Zoe. He whispered into the quiet room, "Thank you, Zoe." Smiled. He knew that human spirit HF was shown brightest when we care enough to reach across any distance. And with that hope glowing in his chest, Lucas opened a new blank page in his sketchbook, ready for their next adventure together. Sam stood in his small kitchen, watching the kettle boil. He held his phone tight in his hand, waiting for a message. From Lily, she had moved to another continent 6 months ago. At first they texted every day, and the messages slowed to once a week, then every 2 weeks. Now almost nothing came. Sam felt a heavy ache in his chest. He missed her quick smile, her bright laugh, the way she always asked how his day went. He wanted to reconnect, but did not know how. That afternoon, Sam walked through the neighborhood they once explored together. He passed the corner cafe where they shared chocolate croissants and dreamed of future travels. He remembered how Lily would point out the shapes in passing clouds, and how Sam would laugh at her bold ideas.
How the cafe window was empty.
Its chairs stacked high. Streets felt quiet without her curiosity. Sam touched the old cafe sign and whispered, "I wish I could send you a piece of this place." Back home, Sam sat at his desk. He opened a blank document and typed a simple title, The Book of Memories. He paused. Could he really ask Lily to write again? He hesitated, wondering if she even cared as much. Then he remembered how humans never give up when they care deeply. He took a deep breath and began to write a short scene. 2 friends exploring hidden lanes, finding secret murals and laughing under streetlights. He described the scent of fresh bread, the sound of distant music, the warmth of friendship that felt bigger than any distance. When he finished, he saved the document and sent it to Lily with a note. "I miss our adventures. Would you like to write the next chapter with me?" His heart pounded as he clicked send. He felt like he had sent a letter in a bottle across the wide sea. The rest of the day, he kept checking his phone. Doubt crept in. What if she did not reply? But each time he felt that doubt, he remembered his own courage. Humans find ways to shine hope into dark places. The next morning, Sam awoke to a notification. Lily had replied. His heart leaped as he opened her message. "I'd love to write with you. I've missed you too." Sam's lips curved into a smile so big his cheeks hurt. He opened their book of memories file and read Lily's new scene. She wrote about her new city's sunrise over the sea, how the morning light painted buildings pink. She described how she thought of Sam each time she saw a stray cat, and how she wished he could see the view with her. Sam felt a rush of joy. The miles between them felt smaller. Over the next week, they took turns adding to the document. Sam wrote about a hidden garden behind an old library filled with blooming flowers. Lily added a scene of her favorite bakery, where she bought almond croissants that tasted like hope. They shared little jokes. Sam drew a cat chasing a pigeon. Lily added a pigeon hiding behind a statue. With each new paragraph, their friendship grew stronger. They realized that the human spirit HF thrives on connection and creativity. One evening, Sam decided to surprise Lily. He collected small photos of places they both loved: the cafe patio, the garden bench, the mural in the alley. He arranged them in a digital collage and sent it to her with a message: "Our memories." "All in one place," Lily replied with a voice note. Sam pressed play and heard her gentle voice. "This is beautiful. It feels like you're here with me." Sam's eyes filled with tears of joy. He understood that when people care, they find ways to be present, even when they are apart. Encouraged, Lily suggested they record a short video reading scenes aloud, so they could hear each other's voices. They set a time and did just that. Sam stood by his window, reading his favorite lines, while Lily sat in her sunlit room, her voice soft and bright. He heard her laugh at his silly accents, and he laughed back. When the video ended, they both felt warm inside. Distance existed, only on a map, not in their hearts. A few days later, Sam received a package from Lily.